Wagwan me people, quick thing before we kick off. The views where you hear upon the Father to Father podcast, them strictly for why, the hosts, guests and contributors. Them now represent Catholic Notebook, Spirit Stream Studios, the Diocese, University, or any affiliated groups. You see me? And remember, this podcast are strictly for adult ears, so listen up with discretion.
For 27 years.
You eat sardines on Sundays?
Yep. Every Sunday? And you call your friend because you don't believe her. And you're like, yo, John, did you know that Annalise eats sardines on every single Sunday? Where have you been?
It's like, yeah, on saltine crackers, but she gets a great value saltine crackers because it's 29 cents less than the regular saltine crackers.
Wait a minute. I usually take a nap on Sundays. How do you know that she eats sardines? Oh. If that's how you know, it's a problem. We don't want that future for you, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah,
so
we're trying to help you. You don't need any sardines in your future.
Go to Pre-Cana.
Go take a shower. Welcome to the show, everybody.
Oh my goodness.
That's the intro. That is the intro. Oh, we in our bag right now, ladies and gentlemen. We are in our bag. What's going on, man? You know, I want to start something new on the podcast. Now we got this.
Oh, shoot.
We're in the brand new studio. We could just do. Yo, what is it? What was it called? Sip sips?
What?
That's what the kids are calling it. Sip sips?
Kids shouldn't be drinking. First and foremost, this is Bunnahabhain single malt Scotch whiskey. Shout out to Alex.
Shout out to Alex.
This is grown man alcohol, dog.
Alex, what's going on, man?
This is something you sip in your robe.
By yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Except we sipping it right here, right now on the Father podcast. Welcome to the show, everybody. My name is Dr. Giovanni, and with me is my right hand, my main man,
Father Greg Lambert.
Hey! We're in a brand new studio, man. We're in a brand new studio.
We got Madden playing out here in the background.
I know. We got we got a whole setup and everything, man.
Exactly.
It was wild.
Carpet's working. It's good. It's good. It's good. It's good.
How you been?
Man, I've been busy, but I've been good.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm getting ready for some stuff coming up in August. We're about to start school and get the kids back in the building and things of that nature, so I'm really excited.
Word. Okay, cool, man. Yeah. Life has been weird.
Who are you telling?
Yeah.
Who are you telling, sir?
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. But you know what? It's times like this that I have to sit back and reflect, and I really got to think about some things. And that's when I open up my second browser. And I scroll down and I click review and I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I hit 5 stars for the Father podcast because you know what? If they love you and they tolerate me, because at this point it's just toleration.
Yeah,
it's just toleration. I'm gonna call a spade. You give us 5 stars. I can't tolerate less. But if we're gonna coexist in the same universe, at the very least, 5 stars. 5 stars. 5 stars. Did I make myself clear? 5 stars. Not 4, not 3. If you leave 2, I'm deleting it. I will find a way to spam it and be like, yo, I'm reporting this for spam. Clearly they weren't in their right state of mind.
Wow. I mean, we're on Reddit now. We'll see.
We are on Reddit, which is wild.
Over 1,000.
We should probably set up like a Reddit forum so people could just put comments and stuff in the Reddit forum.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead and comment.
And just do that. We'll announce that at the next podcast, stuff like what the Reddit is called and everything like that, so everybody knows.
Yeah, that's good.
All right, cool. You ready to get started, man?
Always.
All right.
Yo, Father Greg, Dr. G, what's good? I know it sounds clear, I know it's misunderstood. The story's wild, yes, out there, no doubt, but just lean in close, just hear me out. Hear me out. Hear me out.
Ready for some hear me out?
No doubt. The truth's in my words, the real is what
Yo.
I'm ready now.
Nah, you might need it for this.
Might.
You might need it for this.
There's no might.
Yeah, there is a might. You never know. But hear me out. Is it really bad if I knocked out the bride at her own wedding?
I didn't take a sip yet. Huh? What?
But hear me out. Is it bad that I knocked out the bride
Yes.
at her own wedding?
Yes.
You know, wait. We don't know what the story is. What if it was an accident?
It was you accidentally knocked somebody unconscious?
You might. All right, let's hear it out. Let's hear it out.
Let's hear it out.
Let's hear it out. Hi. So my name is Danielle, 29.
Why'd you read it all zesty like that? Like I was supposed to.
I don't know. I'm feeling good, dog.
29.
29. And I was the maid of honor at my best friend Alina's wedding to her now husband Daniel. So, okay. I know Lena and Daniel, they're like a couple from a Hallmark movie. It's exhausting. I hate it. I love it. Shut up. Leave me alone, Dr. Giovanni. Anyway, I'm just here to clear the air and maybe get some perspective. Father Greg, please be gentle.
What?
So
that just lets me know that you know never mind. I'm not judging. Continue.
Something happened on the wedding. And I need you to understand, Father Greg, my intentions were pure. You speak a lot about intentions. I just want you to remember this. My intentions were pure. And she put sparkly letters around the pure.
That makes me not believe it. But okay. Your intentions were pure.
Operating at maximum creative genius for Lena.
Oh, no.
This wasn't just any wedding. This was Lena's wedding. My girl. My soul sister. Mm-hmm. We've been together at Florida State.
Shoot!
Since sophomore year.
I can see it now. I can visually see this. Okay, continue.
When we both cried at Taco Bell parking lot.
I can see it. I know these people. Not personally. I don't think I know these people. Just continue.
After failing econ.
I can see these people.
We know like 4 people that
yes, so many people failed econ. Econ and Orgo.
Yes. Yeah, it's the same stuff. Anyways. So she says they were crying in the parking lot after they failed econ together. Which is exactly why I thought instead of a bouquet toss, like, that's overblown. The people fighting over dying roses. Why don't we do something more fun? Something more iconic? Mm-hmm. What if we did a piñata instead?
Oh my gosh. Okay. It's a cool idea, right?
Yeah, and it says, but not just any piñata. A single girl surprise piñata. Smash piñata.
Interesting.
So I personally hand-filled it with glitter, mini candles, temporary tattoos, plastic engagement rings, mints, because you never know. Mm-hmm. That's what she wrote. And, okay, a couple of fake divorce papers I printed at Kinko's.
You put a fake annulment in there too?
She's a millennial because she's at Kinko's instead of like, I just printed them. She went to Kinko's, dog.
Oh my goodness. Fine.
But
okay.
Obviously it was iconic. I'm hilarious is what she wrote. Now, I didn't run this past Lena.
Oh.
Because I wanted her to be surprised. She loves surprises.
Oh, not on one of the most important days of your life.
Fast forward to the reception. I made a quick announcement. No bouquet tosses here, ladies. We're smashing the patriarchy instead.
Oh my. Hold on, let me take my sip.
People laughed. Phones came out. Daniel clapped. It was beautiful. Lena just kind of looked at me awkwardly. Mm-hmm. I hoisted up the glitter-covered llama piñata.
It was a llama?
Yeah. And she goes, yes, it was a llama.
Okay.
They didn't have hearts at Party City.
But they had llamas?
You know this is a deep cut. This is probably a Floridian. This
has to be a Floridian. Because all this sounds way too familiar. Oh my gosh. I feel like I know these people. Anyway, continue.
Yeah, and then she handed the stick to Lena and she blindfolded her. And she's like, so I'll go first. So I said, I'll go first and I'll show you how it's done.
Okay.
Because Lena was apparently being weird about it. Because that's what a leader does, is what she says.
Oh, no.
And okay, I might have wound up too hard, but I was feeling the vibe. The crowd was chanting, the tequila was flowing, the music was swaying, and I felt like Serena Williams in that moment. And I missed the piñata and hit Lena in the head.
Oh my. Oh my. You channel Serena Williams and you turn into Mike Tyson? You give her a Mike Tyson blow to the face.
Blow to the head. She went down. So bad. I'm going to read this just like this. She went down like a Sims character whose energy bar just hit zero.
Oh my. Was she okay?
We ended up at the hospital. Daniel rode with her in the limo. I stayed back to comfort everybody.
In the limo. You know, the crazy part is that's a white dress too.
I know.
So you know she's bleeding.
I know.
Oh my gosh.
I told the bartender to keep the drinks flowing, keep the vibe from totally dying. At some point,
yeah, stop her from totally dying too.
Right? At some point, I may have held Daniel's hand and told him she's strong.
Bruh, no.
She's a warrior. She'll be okay. And technically, you're still married. So congratulations. Now Lena said, I ruined her wedding and almost ended her marriage before it even started.
Wait, that's an interesting caveat. Why would you say that?
Like, girl, be real. You were passed out. It was his wedding night. Someone needed to consummate it.
No, there's no way.
I'm not joking.
There's no way.
Girl,
there's no way.
You were passed out.
There's no way.
It was your wedding night.
There's no
Someone
way.
needed to consummate it.
Well, I got my rating.
And then she said, but to be honest, you're the one who married the guy who thinks ranch dressing is spicy, so it is what it is.
I don't believe any of this was an accident.
Now people are messaging me on Instagram and Facebook saying that I assaulted the bride. And to that
you say?
And that I purposely took her out.
And to that you say?
But I say she still looked beautiful unconscious. But hear me out. Is it really bad if I was trying to make things memorable? And technically, I did the bouquet toss. I tossed her whole body.
Even God said no.
You need a recap?
I'm going to pour some more.
This is boop. So you need a recap?
Yeah.
All right. So basically, here's what happened. You have Daniela, and she's just like, hey, yo, love her. Me and Lena been together since day one when we were crying in the tacos parking lot after we failed econ our sophomore year because we found each other. We're probably sorority sisters. Like, it is what it is.
She has this longtime boyfriend. Love him, hate him. Love the situation, hate the situation.
Yeah, love, hate him. But you know what? Don't judge me. Like, come on. Don't judge me. We're just best friends. Anyways, so, like, we did this whole wedding, and I was the maid of honor, like, obviously. And then I decided, you know what? Let's not have the normal bouquet toss. And she had a single girl smash piñata, which makes sense now that I think about it. Like, because a bouquet toss is for the women who aren't married to be like, oh, you might be married next. So a single girl smash piñata makes sense. I don't know why she put divorce papers in there.
I don't get what that's about either.
I don't know, but she did that, and she had like iconic stuff that you would normally have, like the plastic rings and all this stuff. Everything was Gucci. Everything was Gucci. And then she gave the stick to the bride, which, why you're letting the bride do this, whatever. She gave a stick to the bride. Bride was like, I don't know. She was being kind of weird. She's like, let me go first. And then she takes it, and she wound up like, she said the tequila was flowing, the vibes were there, and she wound up like Serena Williams and just, quacka! And she fell down like a Sims character that lost all their energy bars.
Oh
Dog,
my gosh.
you know this person's a millennial just by just by all the stuff. So that went down. Then, they rushed her to the hospital. Somehow Daniel came back, that was her husband, and she said, like, I just held his hand and comforted him. And now she's saying that I ruined her marriage. Plot twist. She said, girl, be real. It was your wedding night. Someone had to consummate the marriage.
Terrible. Absolutely terrible. I'm making a note in their wedding file. Like, yo, this happened at the wedding. I'm letting you know if there ever needs to be an annulment. This is what ended up happening. It's probably a really good reason to annul it.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. But she's just like, yo, I was just trying my best to help out everywhere I can.
No, you weren't.
Everywhere. And plus,
no, you were not.
He thinks ranch is spicy.
That doesn't make an excuse. So he has bad taste.
Problem?
That doesn't mean that you should go ahead and ruin this moment for everybody.
But hear me out.
No.
But hear me out. But hear me out. It's just a piñata. Like, it was piñata. Is it really bad?
Yes.
So, what are your thoughts? Give me your thoughts. I'll give you runway.
I have lots of thoughts.
Go ahead.
So I already have when I'm going to rank this, but
you're gonna give her a 1. You're gonna give her a 1.
And then you wanted my thoughts,
and I'm gonna talk you into giving her a 2.
You wanted my thoughts, right?
Go ahead.
All right, here's my thoughts. The situation is, I don't know what back understanding this relationship is built on. And when I say back understanding, I mean the background knowledge of how she actually feels about her friend. I'm sure that she really does love her in a certain aspect.
Dog, we know this girl.
Yeah.
We know this girl. It's girls that grew up in a sorority together in Florida. They did everything together. They failed together. They synchronized together. They did all that stuff together. One of them got married before the other. Guarantee you that's how that went down. And he's safe. Got a 9-to-5. Probably makes $80,000 a year. It just, doesn't do anything. Doesn't really look right. Doesn't really look left. He thinks ranch is spicy.
Yep.
And in her mind, she's like, we had conversations where we share everything.
Yeah.
Including your husband now. I take care of you. Right? Just like old times.
And she's still single.
And
she found her forever husband or whatever that's supposed to mean.
Yeah.
She knows it's not like this is the kind of situation when you find peep game real quick. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, when you find the person that you want to marry, congratulations. That's awesome. This is why in the Catholic Church we have all these things like pre-Cana. This is why we always talk to the priest. This is why we talk to other different sponsor couples. This is why we go on retreats. This is why we do all this stuff. So the questions come out before the actual marriage, because the last thing that we want is for two people to go before God, their friends, their family, and everyone they know, and to go ahead and say, I'm ready to participate in the sacrament, and either one, not know the person that's standing right next to them,
right,
or two, even worse, not know themselves. Because one of the worst things that can happen is that you solidify this sacrament between someone else, you two become one flesh, and some 10 years later, most of the time it's actually not 10, it's a whole lot early, it's like 3 to 5. But 10 years later, when like the fatigue really hits, when you already had kids, at year 10, you guys are just now getting off the I'm going to kill you phase.
Do you want the stats? You want the stats?
Yeah.
The first time that someone is about to get a divorce is year 2.
Year 2?
Year 2. 60% of divorces happen within year 2. 52% of divorces happen within year 7. If you can make it past year 7, you Gucci until the kids leave. And when the kids leave, that's when the last tick of divorces happen. Because you got no more buffer anymore. And that's when people are looking at each other going, I really didn't like you. The kids were keeping me here.
Yeah.
Do you always do this?
I've been doing it for the last 27 years. Like, really? I just been blocking it out for 27 years.
You eat sardines on Sundays?
Yep. Every Sunday? And you call your friend because you don't believe her. And you're like, yo, John, did you know that Annalise eats sardines on every single Sunday? Where have you been?
It's like, yeah, on saltine crackers, but she gets a great value saltine crackers because it's 29 cents less than the regular saltine crackers.
Wait a minute. I usually take a nap on Sundays. How do you know that she eats sardines? Oh. If that's how you know, it's a problem. We don't want you. We don't want that future for you, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah,
So
we're trying to help you. You don't need any sardines in your future.
go to Pre-Cana.
Go take a shower. Welcome to the show, everybody.
Oh my goodness.
That's the intro. That is the intro. Oh, we in our bag right now, ladies and gentlemen. We are in our bag.
From the heat of battle, he don't miss.
He doesn't miss. Oh, we shouldn't have opened the bottle of whiskey. Oh, I love being an adult. Anyways,
all that is to say, what I want to go ahead and put out there for all of you who are listening to this situation, and for this individual who's listening about this particular really embarrassing, really tough, probably really sad. You most likely lost your friend, right? This situation is, man, there was a lot that went wrong here. And my question is, in all of the things that happened, because it's easy to blame alcohol, it's easy to blame the event, it's easy to blame the heat of the moment. This story just kept getting worse. And my thing is, you got to be able to not only pull back on the reins, you got to be able to ask yourself, why was I going as hard as I was? Is it really for the sake of the wedding? Was it for my best friend? Or was it for me? Because if it's for the sake of my best friend, then at some point I stop, right? Yeah. At some point I stopped drinking because it's not all about having a good time anymore. My friend got hurt and I hurt her.
Well, my problem is, as soon as she got hurt and she fell down, it never occurred to just stop.
Yes.
Life just got real serious right now.
Exactly. Or call, 911, call an ambulance.
Well, they did eventually, I guess. Well,
they drove her to the hospital in the limousine. So maybe someone said, yo, I got the keys. Let's just go right now.
Right. Maybe that's the case. Because the limo driver was just right there. And they just so happened to coincide. And they're like, yo, we'll take her. Mm-hmm. But again, my issue is more so it's all jokey jokes until someone gets hurt. And if the groom would have said, stay here, keep the party going, I'm going to dip. Mm-hmm. That's a completely different thing.
Absolutely.
That's a completely different thing. It's like, all right, cool. But she's okay. It's like, yeah, I'll take care of her. Mm-hmm. And then the groom dips and stay. Also, why the hell is the groom not at the hospital with her?
I don't know.
That's your wife, dog.
There's a whole bunch of conversations that happened that I wasn't aware of. I don't know what their mindset was. I think her mindset's probably clouded at this point because she probably has a concussion.
Clouded with a chance of meatballs.
Mm-hmm. And so my thing is like...
that flew over your head.
No, I was going to speed right past it. I was like, I hear him. I know what he said. I was going to act like I didn't hear it. I was going to act like I didn't hear it and just keep going.
Meatballs. Anyways.
Oh, my goodness. But all I'm saying is like, yo, that's all that we're talking about. And then there is the back end of the consummation. Listen, I don't know if she was just trying to be funny or something, but in this situation, not only would that be a really bad and tone deaf kind of joke, but two, if this actually happened, there is nothing that you can say to me that gives you above a 1 star because you know what you were doing right then.
Well, I don't know what she means by consummate. Legit, because she was kind of goofy throughout the whole thing.
Yeah, for sure.
And trying to hedge her bets. Because she didn't outright say,
I did this thing.
We slept together.
Yeah.
Because that would be whatever. She said consummate, which could be, because she said yeah, he came back and I held his hand.
Yeah.
And so it's like, why would you give us that detail and not just tell us that you slept with him?
Exactly.
This is the Father podcast. People tell us worse things.
You wouldn't believe.
So the fact that she just said yo, I held his hand, I don't know if in her mind consummation was she slept in the bed with him and just held him throughout the night.
That's still inappropriate.
I get it, but that's not sex.
That's true, but
it's not sex.
Still inappropriate.
It is
on your wedding night.
I get it. I'm not. He shouldn't have been there in the first place. He should be in the hospital. Mm-hmm. Dog, if Brittany would have passed out on her wedding night, mm-hmm. I would have left with her. I would have been at the hospital. I would have been by her bedside the entire time, and we would have been cracking jokes the situation to try to bring some levity to it. But like, there's no way in hell you're gonna find me back at the venue and then taking her maid of honor and being like, you know what? I just need someone to comfort me right now. What?
Nope.
What?
Nope. You couldn't tell me that. You couldn't tell me you did that.
I couldn't tell you that. I couldn't tell you that. I couldn't
Nah,
tell you
fam.
that. So, what's your rating?
1.
I give her a 2 because I don't know what consummation means. I just don't know what consummation is. Like, because she didn't say like, "Yo, we had sex." She just said we consummated.
That's what sex is.
Nah, but if you're a weird gamer girl, like consummation could be something completely different. It's the idea of consummation means that like we came together. It doesn't matter like how that is. It could just be the culmination of something. So she could have had a whole backstory with him, and then that consummated on that night. I don't know what that means. I need more context. This is the first time I'm saying I need more context. This is the very first time I'm saying I need more context, and you're out here going like, "No, confession for you." But you know what? Did we get it right? Did we get it wrong? You tell us. CaptainNotebook.org/father. That's CaptainNotebook.org/
F2F.
But hear me out.
Consummate means consummate. I know exactly what that means.
I don't know what it means.
I know exactly what I can't say it.
What?
But things happen.
Back when I needed a man, all I got handed was traps. Said boy go be great, but gave me no pass, so I bled from the faith I know I still had. Good advice don't come cheap, real ones ran wisdom don't tweet. Now I walk through the dark trying not to repeat the same fake love that they handed to me. They come to me now like I know the route. Big bro, what's the play? Can you help me out? And I tried not to laugh, but I see myself back when I was broke, begging somebody else. Ain't no manual for this, just pressure and heat. You get burnt by the ones that you thought brought peace. Told my little man, don't believe what you see.
We have a lot of people that send us in emails and asking different advice. Say, hey, you know what? Dr. Gio, you are a father of 2. Father Greg, you are a father of us all. I got a situation. Can you give me some advice? Can you help me out? Can you help me figure things out? And we have tons of these that come in. And so I'm just going to start from the top. I'm not going to say, hey, Dr. Gio and Father Greg, just assume I've already said it. It is what it is. It's fatherly advice. You already know what it is. Okay. Is it wrong that I struggle to believe in hell? I just can't imagine God creating someone with full knowledge that they're going to be damned. I'm not trying to be a heretic. I swear. I want to believe everything the church teaches. I'm trying, but my mind keeps wrestling. What do I do with this kind of doubt? Gratefully, I'm going to say where it came from. It's Honduras.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah.
Far out.
Yeah. So I'm going to give you runway.
All right. Well,
So that's pretty much the premise. Like, is it wrong to struggle with this idea that hell exists?
Well, I would say it's not wrong to struggle with faith, period. The whole entire notion of faith, what it's for, is for the belief in the things that we can't see, touch, taste, or feel for ourselves. But to believe that they're still there, that Christ's promise still holds true. So struggling with faith is supposed to happen. It's happened throughout Scripture. Name any saint or any great prophet is an individual who at some point in their life, they said, yo, God, I know you're sending me, but is this really going to work? In particular, when we're talking about hell, hell is not like, I don't know, Detroit. I'm putting a name, a place and a name on a certain place at a certain time in the country.
That's specific.
I just put out a place. I was gonna say Jerusalem, but I can't say that.
No. What's wrong with you?
I can't say that. The first thing in my mind was like Jerusalem. Like Jerusalem's not bad.
There's a hell like Nevada.
Oh, that makes sense. It's pretty hot.
Yeah.
But if we're going to talk about hell particularly, the reason I thought about Jerusalem is because outside of the city of Jerusalem proper, right? There was a place that was actually called Gehenna, right? And Gehenna is something that's it's referenced in scripture when they talk about hell, the wailing and gnashing of teeth, they would get thrown to Gehenna, this and that nature. And people usually says like, oh yeah, it's hell, but it was an actual place. And what this place was is essentially it was a garbage dump. It was a place where people would throw things that were meant to be discarded. So we're talking about, your trash. We're talking about back then, people used to throw their trash from their windows out into the street, which is why when on like the Via Dolorosa, the way of the cross, the original way of the cross,
right,
when Jesus is walking through the city streets, people would have been spitting on him and throwing trash on him and throwing rocks and pelting things from their window, from their apartment, from their home, down at Jesus. And if
that's a visual,
it is.
That's a visual, because every manicured version we get, we just see like, oh, Jesus was just carrying his cross, and we're like, yeah, it must have been hot.
No, they were chucking garbage. Someone could have very likely taken a handful of excrement and thrown it at him.
That explains why he had his face wiped.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I never understood like why she wiped his face. Like, what was the point of that? But if people were throwing like garbage and crap on him, like that would make sense. Yeah.
So much so that if you go to Jerusalem today and you walk the Via Dolorosa, above you, a couple feet, maybe like some 8 or 9 feet above you, there is a grate. So that if someone is on the next level, the next 2 levels, and they drop something, it won't fall on somebody's head because they have so many tourists that walk through.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so that's a reality, right? So I say all that because Gehenna was an actual place, and it was like their garbage dump, and there really was a fire that was lit there. So you try and throw your things as close to the fire as possible, so the fire would break down all the stuff that's within the actual garbage dump. Hence, they would reference that eternal fire of Gehenna, the fire that's always going. Not fun, but still a fact. Children that were stillborn, if they didn't bury them, you could throw them into Gehenna because they weren't wanted, right? They're just a dead body to them.
Right.
So you would throw that into Gehenna. It's a dark place.
Wow.
Could you imagine what it was like to be there, to fall off that cliff, to reside in that area, the smell, the putrid lack of humanity? That was like hell for them.
Right, like just coming out of it. Like if you manage to survive.
If you manage to survive falling in.
That is, wow.
Exactly. So that's why they would say that's for what the idea is. It's better to pluck out your eye that sinned than to have your whole body thrown to Gehenna. Because it was. I lost an eye, but hey, at least I'm not living and I'm stuck in Gehenna. It is what it is. So all this to say, when you have a struggle with hell is not God getting mad at you and throwing you in timeout. I know it's a lot worse than that, but like this is essentially the idea that a lot of times people kind of go with. I sinned, I did something wrong, so God's going to punish me. I'm being thrown in timeout. Like hell is a corner. Hell is a place that is set aside that is devoid of God.
Question for you though.
Yes.
Because a lot of times, like we've romanticized Lucifer.
Yes.
Right.
Oh yeah, there's a whole show about it.
Yeah, Lucifer, which is a show in and of itself, not a bad show.
No, it's interesting theology there.
The storylines are kind of interesting, and like at times you can tell that they did their research in Catholic theology.
Yes,
and so they're pulling a lot of stuff there. But this idea that I did something bad, or this idea that I'm a good person, so why would God send me to hell? Like that notion. How do you deal with that? Because I think in the spirit of what this person is saying is basically like, hey, I think I'm a good person. I do the right things. I haven't killed anybody. I haven't done anything wrong. Like I go to church occasionally, maybe. Like I pray sometimes. And for the most part, like I live pretty ethically. So I can't imagine I'm going to hell. Yeah. But I'm not Catholic, or I'm not, I haven't accepted God into my heart or anything like that. I haven't prayed the prayer. I haven't done the things. I haven't done the sacraments or anything. But does that mean I'm going to hell because I haven't done any of those things? Because it's hard for me to conceptualize a God that's going to tell me, well, you didn't check off box X, Y, and Z, and according to our legal code, you got to spend 14 days in hell. Like that's rough.
That's true. That's a great question. I answer that with Zacchaeus. You remember the story of Zacchaeus? He was short in stature. That's not the sinful part. He was short in stature. And he's a tax collector, and he goes on saying that he knows that he has been wronging people and taking more money than he needs to. He's been skimming off the top.
Did he say that? I don't think he said that.
He didn't say that directly. But
He said, if I have scammed anyone,
that's a weird thing to say if you haven't scammed anybody, sir.
Listen, we want to cover our bases in front of God.
What can you cover? It's God.
It's the same thing. I'm just like, because I don't remember all the things.
Oh my goodness.
I don't remember everything.
The reality of the situation is
I resonate with this case.
He was skimming off the top.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. But it was. And he walks into town. Jesus walks into town. He finds out that Jesus is there. He has to get a look at him. For reasons we don't really know. Maybe it was conviction. Maybe it was just morbid curiosity. Maybe he just wanted to see what the hubbub was about. But he had to see. And he knew that he was short. So he climbed this tree. And he was the only one who climbed the tree. Mind you, there was so many people. There was such a crowd of people. And nobody else climbed the tree to go and get a look at Jesus. He was the only one that climbed the tree. No one else had that idea.
That's a black response.
That's something you know.
I'm just saying. Like, also, just to let you know, like, Mediterranean culture. If he climbed a tree, then he's a worker.
Interesting.
Like, why? Because you're not supposed to be. Because the whole thing is like, you don't see people climbing trees.
That's true.
And realistically, like, even for olive trees, you don't climb the olive tree. You shake the olive tree. And so if you look at a lot of the machinery for harvesting fruit in the Mediterranean, it's all vibrations to like get the fruit down rather than like actually climbing up into the tree. So the fact that no one climbed a tree is not a weird thing. It's just like, yeah, because you don't do that. And then he's like, customs be damned, I need to see this.
Yes, it's true. And then he climbed the tree. And so he gets a look at Jesus. And that's the difference between an individual who wants to see and an individual who can see. And this is exactly what I mean by that. I mean, yes, is he doing something that he's not supposed to be doing? Yes. Is he liked and well respected by everybody? Probably not. Why in the world does the fact that he's short in stature get left in scripture? I don't think that means that people like him. I'm sorry, but like at the
same reason why it's like two disciples ran to the cave and John got there first, but he didn't go in.
Exactly. There's no need for that. Because he was younger. I was like, why did you feel like you needed to say that? Why did you feel like you needed to say that?
Because I was at the heart of Jesus. I'm the only one that didn't die. Because I kept my mouth shut. Anyway.
So that is to say that even though Zacchaeus was an individual who on the surface seemed like he should have been far away from God, the desire in his heart was still there.
Yeah.
And that's all that we're asking for. When we talk about hell, we're not talking about an idea that someone is just going to get their comeuppance at the end of their life. The reality of hell is, I'm going to give you the thing that you have wanted your entire life, because this is how you've been living. You've been living as if I don't exist. Therefore, for the rest of eternity, you're going to live as if I don't exist. Well, for real this time.
So, but here's the thing though, like, and I think a lot of people, because I remember struggling with this as a kid too, is like, what is the tipping point for that?
That's I'm not going to say impossible to know because we have moral theology, but at the same time, moral theology is our understanding of God's divine law. Right. So we can understand it to a point because we have rationality. But at the end of the day, Jesus Christ was very clear when he said he will suffer and he will die for us. And he said that it is finished. It's not our salvation to earn. We can't earn it, but it's ours to lose.
And you see, that's the thing. It's like, and I think it's more of an American, or like, I would say an American thing, because, and it really did get exported, like that thought process, the idea of like, tell me where that line actually exists, and then I will tell you how far I'm willing to go.
And and I hear you, but I also want to be very clear for everyone that's listening, that's still a very dangerous way to live, because knowing where the line is not a bad thing in itself. But there are many people, myself on a couple of occasions in life, probably way too many that I don't want to even count, right, that have said, well, the line is here. If I just stop short of it, then I'm good.
okay. Yeah.
Then I'm good.
Yeah.
And that's not the point of the living of a relationship with Jesus Christ. It's not, I'm going to love you and be in a relationship with you. As long as I don't do these things, then basically everything else is within the purview, and I'm fine because I'm just following your rule and your measurements, right?
But that's the thing. It's like, if I just follow the rules, am I okay? Or do I have to follow the spirit of the rule in order to be okay? And I think ultimately a lot of people struggle because they're like, first of all, I don't even know what the rule is. Like, before we even get to anything, I don't even know what the rule is, because everybody and their mother is telling me all this extra stuff that has to get done, and like a lot of it doesn't really pertain to anything, right? Because there's a lot of Catholics right now that don't even know if you don't go to Mass on Sunday, that's a sin. It's a mortal sin.
It's a mortal sin.
There are bishops that will refuse to talk about it.
Yeah.
Because from a pastoral standpoint, they argue like it doesn't do me any good to lambast people about not going to Mass on Sundays when they walk through the door for the first time in 20 years.
And that's what it is. From that perspective, I'm just going to go ahead and demystify it right now. The reason why bishops and priests don't want to talk about that is because they're afraid that if they tell people what is a hard line, then they're not going to get them at all.
But that's the thing, and this is the psychology behind it. If you were to tell somebody this is the line, then people are more willing to engage, because now they know, oh, I just have to give X, Y, and Z up, or oh, this is how because people love it. Regardless of what people say, they love exclusivity.
Yeah.
They love the fact that they belong to a group.
That's why country clubs exist.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, like,
there's no point to that. It's just dinner, dog.
Even take the LGBT, right?
Yeah.
It started like it was literally LGBT, and then it became LGBTQIA. Then it became LGBTQIA, the number 2. The number 2. Do you know what that's for?
No.
2 spirits.
But we got 3.
Two spirits. No, indigenous 2 spirits.
Indigenous.
It's a bastardization of like this understanding of like the spirituality of indigenous culture.
Oh.
And so it's like this Americanized understanding of the 2-spirit culture of Indians. Because with indigenous culture, it's this notion of like, hey, I am I'm on a continuum. And the earth is also on that same continuum. And my spirit and the earth's spirit are both communicating with each other. So I have to live a certain way. So this notion of having 2 spirits type of thing. And somehow that gets lumped into LGBTQIA, which was supposed to be like sexuality. Because 2 spirits have nothing to do with sexuality, but that gets lumped in.
I don't know. I didn't know about this at all.
Yeah. No, but that's what I'm saying. Like, it just keeps adding, but it's a club. Like, at the end of the day, it's just a club.
Yeah.
So, like, but what I'm saying is, like, when people sit here and say, like, hey, I don't like exclusivity, I don't think it's about exclusivity. I think it's just they want to know where the lines exist, and they want to know, like, firmly where the lines exist. And I think one of the biggest problems we have in the Catholic Church right now, and the writer of the email, I can kind of feel where they're coming from. It's like, I just don't know. Like, because in my heart, I can't imagine God is going to reject me, but I don't know where that line even is. Because if you go to one church, one priest will say one thing.
That's true.
You go to another church, another priest will say one thing. You talk to 4 bishops, they all have 4 different answers on what is part of the church. You look at politicians, and politicians say things that are directly contradiction to the Catholic Church, but they still receive communion on Sundays. Why? And it's not to say, and listen, I want to make this exceptionally clear. I'm not going to be on some like Catholic militant type of stuff. That's not what I'm doing right now. I'm just pointing out that it's just, if you are someone who doesn't have a firm core in the faith and an actual understanding of what is and is not necessary, and you're just trying to ease yourself into it, it's hard to come into this space and be like, oh yeah, I feel completely at ease with everything. I just feel on edge constantly. Like I'm going to make one mistake and then all of a sudden God's going to reject me forever.
And that's not what we're trying to say. The reality of the situation is that what the whole line about where hell is and where heaven is not something that's meant to be a tightrope. We don't want anyone living in such a way that they have to almost be clutching their pearls as if to say, I'm gonna burn. I'm gonna burn today because I accidentally said the F-bomb in my head, not out loud, but in my head on my way to church. Or I went to church, don't really know necessarily if I committed a mortal sin by going to mass just a little bit before 4 p.m. because there was like a 3:30 mass. I don't know. Does that count? Is that okay? I don't really know. Maybe I'm missing something. We don't want you living a life of saying, I need to go ahead and tell all of the kids at my child's 5th grade birthday party that I am 100% against all the parents chipping in to get a magician, because that's a sin. We shouldn't be doing magic. We're Catholic. Like, I'm not saying that you should be living your life in total and constant fear, because that's not what Christ wants. He wants us to live in freedom. Freedom is something that allows us to be able to live and to love and to cultivate and to grow. All those things are for us. So in all that, to answer your question, when it comes to the belief of hell is a place that is devoid of God, because the individual lived their life in such a way that God didn't exist. It doesn't mean they made a mistake. It's been very clear throughout Scripture. Christ is not worried about an individual making a mistake. Christ is not worried about their shortcomings. Christ is not worried about an individual who has some understanding, but not really a whole understanding, and some ignorance, and they're doing their best here and there. This is Nicodemus. Nicodemus is tight with the Pharisees. He is in that inner room. But at the same time, at the very end, he turns back and says, you know what? I have a tomb, and I was going to bury my own self in there. I was going to die in there. That's where I was going. That's where I was going to live. Take my tomb, take this 100 pounds of spices, and use this for Christ's body. It doesn't matter about me anymore. You mean to tell me that Nicodemus is going to hell? He's not. He's an individual who's flawed as well. He's playing both teams. Beforehand, when he went to Christ and he said, how do I have to do to gain eternal life? And then Jesus tells him, you have to be born again. And he says, surely a man can't go back into his mother's womb. He's like, oh, you gotta be kidding me. Seriously? Like, this is what we're working with? That was Nicodemus in the beginning. And the second time, now he's an individual who's able to turn around and go ahead and put him in the tomb. That means something. So don't get down on yourself that you're going to be this individual where you don't have the ability to make a better choice. God isn't rooting for you to make a mistake. He's rooting for you to come back to him.
Yeah. No, that I understand where they're coming from, in the sense of like being trapped in this whole thing of, am I doing the right thing? Am I not doing the right thing?
Mm-hmm.
It's okay to doubt. And I think that ultimately is a thing. Like, the Catholic Church is cool in the sense that you can have your Nicodemus moment.
Yeah.
Right? You can start from this like literal legalistic framework and then go into it understanding, oh, this is what he was talking about. This is what he meant. At no point does the church say, don't question us.
Yes.
The church says, question us. In fact, we will answer your question. We have a whole catechism designed to answer your question.
Yeah.
The difference here is you can't change the rules just because you don't like the answer to the question.
That's true.
Like, that is different. Like, you're asking a question, we will give you the answer. If you don't like the answer to the question, you have to now pray about why you don't like the answer to the question.
That's true.
And come to an understanding of, if you're going to live this lifestyle, this is where it is. I think a lot of priests, and this is my opinion, I think a lot of priests get a little squishy and then try to, under the guise of pastoral care, try to sit there and say like, well, let's modify the understanding of this so that you don't have to feel at edge with what you're doing. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it's like, to be fair, there are some things you're supposed to be feeling on edge about.
Oh, for sure.
And that is like, it's kind of like anxiety. You're supposed to like, anxiety is a normal function. It's a normal thing.
Yes.
Just because you have anxiety doesn't mean you have generalized anxiety disorder. Those are two very different things. And I think people conflate the two, like, oh, I have anxiety, as if that makes it special and it's a disorder that you're going to have to treat. It's like, no. You have an internal clock that you were gifted by God to tell you, hey, maybe I shouldn't be doing this. Or maybe I should be doing this. Hey, did you remember to do X, Y, and Z? These are all internal biological clocks that we have.
Yep.
So in the same vein, I agree with everything you said. The only thing that I would ask, add to it would just be, yo, it's okay. If you have a question, you want to doubt, but doubt with purpose. Doubt and say, like, I don't believe this. Say, like, I don't believe it. I don't believe it. And I'm going to go and find the answer to this particular thing.
That part's important.
You see, that's the thing. It's the virtue with action that makes it meaningful. Like, yeah, I have doubt, but it's not I'm sitting in doubt and this endless void. I am sitting with my doubt, and now I'm applying an action to resolve the doubt that I have.
Yes.
And if I don't like the answer, then I come to a conclusion like, I hate that answer. But you know what? As a Catholic, I'm willing to accept it.
I agree. Amen.
And so I hope that helps. If you have an email for us, go to catholicnotebook.org/father. That's catholicnotebook.org/F2F. And scroll down, click on the fatherly advice, put that in there, and then we're good to go. All right.
You ever ask for advice and they laugh at you or worse? They give it with strings attached. I learned some people don't help to help, they help to hold you. So be careful who speaks over your soul, 'cause not every God told me came from God. Not every I got you means you're safe. Some just wanna wear your story like a chain. Good advice is a treasure map buried in pain. Real truth ain't loud, it don't chase fame. Now I write what I needed, tattooed in flame for the next lost soul walking out of that rain.
Yeah. Well, for all of us at Catholic Notebook and Spirit Stream Studios, we love you. You're very special.
Go forth and bear good fruit.
We out.
Father to Father is a production of Spirit Stream Studios. All rights reserved.